In the United States, 7.6 billion tons of manufacturing waste is thrown away every year into the landfill. That's like every building in Bellingham thrown into the landfill twice. Well, the experts at Bellingham's Restore have launched a program to help manufacturers save money and also keep that waste out of the landfill. Joining us today is Tim O'Donnell, Program Development Manager for the Restore. Welcome, Tim.
Great, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So let's start on a very base level. What is the Restore?
So the Restore is a local nonprofit right here in the Fountain District of Bellingham. It was established in 1993. And our primary mission is to keep usable building materials out of the landfill. And we do that through a number of different services for the community.
Okay. So let's talk about the program now. It's called Manufacturing Waste Diversion Program. What do you consider manufacturing waste?
Manufacturing waste is any byproduct that is a result of the manufacturing process. So this could be anything from the shipping materials that raw materials are brought into a facility, or maybe a product that wasn't made to spec during the manufacturing process, or it's some excess material that was a result of the process that's been stored for years and taking up space.
Now, many people might be surprised to find out that there's quite a few manufacturers in Whatcom County, right?
Oh, quite a few.
Like what kind of things are we making here?
Okay, well, one of the biggest pilot manufacturers that the program started up with was iTech Energy's solar panel product.
Yeah.
But it ranges all across the board. We've got rope makers, lumber, sheet goods, cabinets, pretty much anything you can think of that goes into the construction of a home, and then well beyond that.
Okay. Yeah. So this program, you've been testing it since 2014, is that right? Tell us about
correct.
The pilot program.
So yeah, that was with iTech Energy. To create the solar panels, they have to put the solar panel glass that is the surface of the panel under a very rigorous test and make sure there's no imperfections. And if they did find any nicks or scratches, that product was then just getting tossed into the dumpster. Well, in comes the Restore, and we were able to identify some uses for that glass, and we started diverting that from their facility to our store, and built a number of products with the glass, such as greenhouse, cold frames, deck balustrades, and our customers have been gobbling them up ever since. We've just this year alone, in 2018, we've already sold 700 panels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, and this is saving iTech money too, right? What kind of stats have you gleaned from the pilot program?
Well, yeah, just alone, each panel weighs about 28 pounds.
Wow.
And so just this year, I'd say we've already diverted over 50,000 pounds from their facility that was just going to get paid for in disposal costs.
And these are perfectly fine panels for someone with a backyard greenhouse or something, correct?
Yeah, it's highly tempered glass, so once you get it into a frame, it's pretty much indestructible.
Wow.
So, and we have at the Restore plans to build your own greenhouse. We don't always have all the lumber in stock, but
sure,
we can at least get you going on the project.
Wow, that's great. So how does the program work?
All right, so it all starts off with the Restore reaching out to manufacturers in both Whatcom and Skagit County, and we request a tour, and then that follows up with a waste assessment of the facility, and we identify potential byproducts that are costing the manufacturer to dispose of that we feel like our customer base at the Restore might find a new use for. And so if we do identify some items, I do a regular pickup of that material, and then we introduce it in the retail setting.
So do these manufacturers just give you this stuff? Because otherwise they're just going to dump it, right?
Yeah,
And then,
so there's a lot of incentive there
Yeah.
just to donate it. They can receive a tax receipt because we are a 501c3 nonprofit.
yeah.
And then there is even potential to offer some kind of trade credit as well, which we offer to local donors that just bring stuff to our back door for donation.
So obviously there's a lot of benefits to the manufacturers. We've got
Definitely.
tax and they're getting rid of this stuff and not contributing to the landfill.
Exactly.
What about benefits to our community? Obviously not contributing to the landfill.
So exactly. So first of all, they are given access to some very unique products that you normally would not find in the retail market, like the solar panel glass. And then another item that's pretty unique is from a rope making company. They take all the ends of their twine spools that were not being used in the manufacturing process and wind all those into one mosaic rope, just so they're not wasting that product. And then they don't actually have much use for it at their facility, so they've been able to donate that to the Restore and let our customers figure out what to do with it. Here's an example of it. It's just it's always changing, so it goes through the whole spectrum of the rainbow. And I know some customers have used it for hammocks or use in the garden, odd projects around the house. So.
That must be really interesting for you to see how the creative customer client base of the Restore, because there's a lot of creative people out there, right?
Yeah.
How they utilize this, how they purpose it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The community really is the success of this program because they're the ones coming up with the ideas for use. It's one person can't do that on their own.
Okay.
So they're inspiring me to keep a really open mind when I'm looking at material that's just getting thrown away.
Right.
Because there's somebody out there who might be able to figure out what to do with it.
Just never know.
Yeah.
Another benefit to the community, I heard there might be some workshops?
Yeah, so with the acquisition of all this material from the manufacturing waste stream, we sometimes end up with an abundance of a certain item. Like one thing we've been getting a lot of is pallets. And so I've started designing some workshops where you just use pallets to create maybe patio furniture or benches, tables, shelving, and hopefully later in this year and early 2019 we'll be starting workshops for the community where they will get to participate, learn some basic building skills, and also get to put their creativity to use.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
So give us some stats. How is this program done?
Well, so far we've diverted over 140,000 pounds just with this program. The Restore overall diverts over 3 million pounds a year.
Wow.
So, we're just scratching the surface. That material in the retail value has equated to about $70,000 worth of revenue. And we've reached out to dozens of manufacturers and we've performed about 12 to 14 waste assessments. And some of those, the manufacturer already has it all dialed in, and that's exactly what we want to see. They have a path for all those different byproducts. And other times we're able to help them out and create a partnership and find a new home for these items.
That's great. How is this different from other programs at the Restore?
So with the manufacturing waste diversion program, it's the first time we've actually gone into that manufacturing market. The vast majority of our donations are from commercial and residential donors. A lot of contractors bringing us stuff and residents that have just done a remodel. So we're broadening the market there within that program.
That's wonderful. Now, this program is partially sponsored through a grant, correct? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we received a 3-year grant from the MJ Murdoch Foundation based out of Vancouver, Washington. And they work with organizations across the nation and beyond, funding positions for sustainable practices.
That's great. How can we find out more about the manufacturing waste diversion program at the Restore?
So if you visit our website, re-store.org, and hit the scroll down tab for manufacturing waste diversion, we'll have some more stats on that, as well as some of the other programs of the Restore.
Great.
Yep.
How did you get into this?
So it's been about 8 years ago. In 2010, I was hired on at the Restore as a retail associate. So working in the trenches, taking donations, selling used building materials, loading stuff in and out. And then over time, I progressed into a management role and became the store manager and then the general manager. And I did that for about 5 years. And then decided I wanted to mix it up a little bit. And the Restore is such a great place because of their flexibility and the buy-in they have with all the staff there. And so I was able to move laterally into this new program, which was developing. So now I'm the program development manager, and my first task is to get this grant-funded manufacturing waste program up and going within the 3 years.
And this program is funding a lot of other programs at the Restore.
Yeah,
right?
It's just one of several programs within the Restore. We obviously have our retail operation,
Yep.
the store in the Fountain District. And then we have a salvage services crew, which goes out into the community and extracts usable building materials from structures like doors or flooring or trim. And then on occasion, we'll actually deconstruct an entire structure from, roof down to foundation. And our crew can salvage and recycle up to 90% of that structure.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So what we lose is maybe the drywall and
Yeah.
the asphalt roofing, but other than that, we're able to pull it all down.
Wow.
And then bring it back to the store and offer it up to the community. And oftentimes you'll get really unique items in older structures that you just can't find in the market.
Right.
And then beyond salvage services, we have a jobs training program. So we team up with local on-the-job training organizations and bring in folks that are in need of some experience or skills in the workplace. And then if we're not sending them off onto their next adventure, we've actually been hiring on some of those candidates within the store. Within the last, I'd say since the beginning of 2017, we've hired 75% of the trainees who have come through,
Wow,
which
that's
is great. And then we also have a program called Revision Division, and they focus on building furniture and home furnishings out of salvaged and reclaimed materials.
We have a couple of those items in our home.
Oh, great! Yeah,
Yes.
Those guys come
Yeah.
up with amazing,
Really
pieces.
is so beautiful and
Yeah.
creative what they can do. I have to ask you, just as an aside, what is the secret to shopping at the Restore? Is it really to go every day, like my husband says?
We have some regular customers that show up twice a day.
Yeah.
But always, call in. We'll help you over the phone, tell you what we have. But, you need to check often.
Gotta go often.
Yeah.
Say hi to the kitties, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Wayne and Saul, they're hanging out on your future chair, maybe.
Maybe, you never know.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining us today, Tim
thank you.
O'Donnell from the Restore. And thank you for joining us for Bellingham Voices. We'll see you next time.